Hello, welcome back to Bean and Nothingness. Yeah, the time has come for the 5 bean puzzles. So, don't know what that's gonna mean for us, but yes, we have 2 puzzles left in this island. Bean cross and by any beans necessary. I'm gonna do the top one last because that looks like a huge project. Like, I mean, come on, just look at that. Just look at how the slime is positioned here. Like, I'm pretty sure this is important to the level, to the puzzle, and I just don't want to deal with that right now. So let's do something a little bit more small. And let's do this one, by any beans necessary. This is probably going to take us a while. 5 bean puzzles usually do. I have a bunch of beans. I have an alternator. And yeah, the alternator is enacted by a purple bean going back and forth here. Okay. Oh, I have still yet to pass exactly what is going on with these here. But it looks like I can definitely start by just creating a blue and a green dispenser. Actually, why would I want a green why would I want a... I don't know. But I'm pretty sure this will let us produce an infinite number of beans, so we shouldn't need to worry about that. What we should worry about is how to, you know, alternate this, I guess. Yeah, that's some... Was there some vine thing? I guess somehow I gotta get some vines to form bridges here by freezing them. I don't think icicles will be involved in the alternator. I think the end goal is just to get a back and forth vine here. So maybe the goal is a vine here plus a vine here. Does that work? You know what? Let's try again the puzzle making thing here. So I'm just going to very quickly start setting stuff up. So I think we wanted a 6x6. Let's set up a regular tile area here. I'll make it as long as I want, sure. And then we want... Let's just say we want you here, and then we want another one, I think 6 away. And now we know there was a bean here, right? Okay, so let's get rid of you first. I don't know how to get rid of you. The delete button? There is a delete button. Let's just have you be a bean for now. And then I will have the recipe be 1 bean for that guy. Okay. So here, you grab... don't grab me. You grab... timing's not good enough. What if I waited? Timing's still not good enough. Okay. Timing's not good enough. Alright, it has to be further away. Huh, so 6 beans doesn't give us a good enough timing. What if it was 7? So, let's get rid of this guy. Can I? Yeah, there you go. The editor kind of glitches out a bit. Alright, let's try testing if 7 works. If a spacing of 7 works. That's not gonna work. I have to do it right now, I think. Ooh, the timing just does not work out either. I think the minimum spacing is 8. I didn't mean to restart the puzzle. Hold on. I think the minimum spacing is actually 8. Let's see. Let's move you. Oh, there's a purple bean there. How did that happen? No idea. Alright, let's test. That spacing has to be a bit further apart. Yeah, so a spacing of 8 seems to be very good. And I'm pretty sure any even spacing after that would work. The reason why a spacing of 6 doesn't work is because, as you can see here, we play around with a length of 4. Like the middle length of 4 here is where the bean goes. I'm not sure if that's something I can do on a 6 space. It looks possible, but like I think the timing just doesn't work out because the retracting goes too fast, I think. So if this grabbed while you were here, then the next grab would be here, right? So, alright, let's just try 6 again. Let's move you here, and let's move you, I don't know, anywhere is fine, honestly. So here the retraction goes too fast. You grab here, and now, yeah, the timing doesn't work out. And if I were to say do this earlier, at like this point, the retraction instead becomes too slow. Yeah, so 6 doesn't work. A spacing of 6 will never work. And then a spacing of 7 is an even number, which also wouldn't work because one side will always have to retract a smaller amount, I think. Which means 8 is the minimum for it to work. I'm not sure if 8 is the perfect amount for it to work. I've not tried with 9 and 10, but yeah, as you can see, this spacing of 4 here works very well. The retraction, I suppose it's because the spacing of 4 works exactly, is equal to exactly like like double the spacing here. So grab, pull, pull, pull is equal to retract, retract, grab. So the spacing is exactly 2 more. Okay. So the spacing in the middle is exactly 2 more. And those 2 extra spaces between the spacing and the amount retracted is to allow for 1 turn retract, retract, pull. Yeah, because the spacing of 4, the retraction takes 3 spaces to this point, and then your retraction plus your grab also takes 3 spaces, and that's exactly why this works perfectly. I am not sure if any further length works, because for any length further onwards, right, I think the range becomes a bit too big for these guys to work with. I think a range of 12 might work. No, because then you'd have 6, a spacing of 6 in the middle plus a spacing of 3 on both sides. Or you could have a spacing of no, a spacing of 8 in the middle wouldn't work. A spacing of 4 in the middle would give you spacings of 4 on either side, which also wouldn't work. So yeah, I think a spacing of 8 is actually the perfect amount to do this alternator. But if we go back to the puzzle itself, we clearly don't have a spacing of 8 there, do we? I don't think we do, which means we have to find another way out. Yeah, there is no horizontal spacing of 8. This thing actually blocks us from giving us... Yeah, it would almost be perfect, except this blocks us. And there is just no way I'm going into here, right? I don't think so. I think this wall over here specifically blocks horizontal movement through here. So is there another way for a retraction to work? Like I pull back here, I pull up, then I pull across. Like it wouldn't make sense to go all the way around here, right? And it needs to actually touch this spot, the bean. What if I pulled from here? There's no way you can alternate on the top row. Like if something were to pull it into the top row, then it would just be grabbed by the bean anyway. This feels very oddly similar to the other level that I did. The other level I got stuck on back in Blobland. Blobland had a very similar looking puzzle where I had to get this bean or a bomb to a really random spot, and I just had no way of knowing how to do it. I have still yet to figure out how to solve that one, so. This looks very similar, where like just the level geometry does not indicate in any way how to do this. Also, we can't bring beans through any of these gaps because the color of the bean will change, I just realized, yeah. So the alternation has to occur strictly within this area, and the vines strictly have to be on the sides. They can't be in this area either because of the tiles. I cannot spawn any vines or move them into these areas. If I pulled in... So I pulled in. I can pull down from here by having a vine there. I have no idea how I have a vine there, honestly, because... I mean, I guess what I can do is I can have a vine eat icicles, and that's how I can freeze vines and make a bridge here. In fact, that's probably what I definitely want to do to start, because that will not give me a gain or a loss in any way. And yeah, I will definitely want to save from there. So alright, so give me some time to just do this first. So here we have an icicle. Here we have a vine that eats the icicle, freezes, and then we can repeat 3 times to make the bridge. So that's the, the really easy part, and I will definitely just save there. That will be our new starting point. Now once again though, I have no idea how to proceed. Okay, one more time. Do I want to fill all of those? Is there any reason why I want there to be empty spaces here? I think it's very hard, it's very difficult for that to be the case. Okay, so now we have that. Let's save here. I can now, put stuff here. I think here might be an interesting spot. Maybe not. Maybe here. Because like what can happen is if a vine were to pull in here, then up, then a vine in this position can pull back. But then what at this point? Like pulling back at this point is really bad. Because how can another vine take control of that? We were talking about a vine pulling this way, right? And then pulling down. If a vine pulled this way, I don't know if there was some interesting case where you could have some vines here. You need to have like frozen, either vines in these 2 spots or a frozen vine along this line. And that should allow you to pull a bean down. But then where will the bean go? There's a very long line here that I could walk through. I'm entirely unsure as to why... Well, I mean, it just lets me walk up here. Obviously, there's no other way to get up here, actually. This blocks me, there is no crossing here. Unlikely for me to be able to build a bridge here as a result, because if I could do that, then I wouldn't need this walkway. I mean, I can build a bridge there if I wanted to. It's actually really easy to do that. Yep. Yeah, I can build a bridge here as easily as I wanted to do that. So, then what would this walkway be for? No idea. I guess it's just there for easy access. Maybe this part is not part of the solution. Putting a bridge here. Again, I can do that though, so I might as well, right? There's no reason why this would be detrimental, right? Clearly not. Right? I don't know. Alright, so now we have another bridge here. I'm gonna save again. No idea why I want this bridge, but it will let me traverse. It will allow me to put vines here. And I can definitely just do the same thing for like all of these spaces. I can fill up this entire space if I wanted to. Maybe the point is that I eventually want... No. No clouds means I can't play around with the beans while I'm in this area. It has to be what the vines are doing. Yeah, I just don't know how to alternate this. If I pull down... Like if I pull this way with a vine here, then the pulling has to occur here, the pulling down. If I then pull this way, it's very likely that this vine over here will pull up. So like if there were a vine there instead, then the vine could potentially pull this way, pull down, pull across, pull up, then pull here. But once that happens, how is this going to go up again? It's very difficult to put this bean in the top row, I think. Yeah. I'm wondering if it's possible to use frozen blocks on land to help me, like, you know, block lines of sight and whatnot. I think eventually that might be useful, but that won't help me create a loop I can, you know, do. So there is a way around, like, this way, this way, this way, this way, and then back. But there's definitely just no way that this can go up and be pulled this way to be pulled down again. It can be pulled back here, but that will require another vine here, which would in the first place prevent the pulling this way from happening. Does it have to be a pull? How else can this work? I don't know how else this can work. I'm wondering... Actually, hold on. If I went around the long way... No, then nothing can go up into this top row. There's just no way. It's very difficult to put something in the top row. Huh? Like this bean. It's just eaten by the vine, and I don't know how to resolve that. It would be eaten by the vine. There's no way to pull out of it, I think. Because once the vine eats it, no other vine can grab from it. That is an issue. So like, the top row probably only exists for a vine to be there to pull the bean into this second top row. Second topmost row. And then if it's pulled here, like, it can be pulled down, but it can't be pulled back up because it's tiled here. The vine pulling towards the left must be here. Then the down pulling or the up pulling must occur in this column. Or it can occur here, I guess. So an up pull here. Wouldn't that get... So, no, but the down pull... The problem is that the bean has to cross this spot. So like, this is a mandatory part of the path. Is it possible to like make a loop around this way? Like here, then here, then here, then here? It might be actually. Well, no. Again, this must move left. There must be a vine there. And if that were the case, how are we going to pull down across and then back up without this vine eating? The vine would then have to be up here, but then that's a problem. If there were a vine up here, up, then you could pull across, but then you can't go back. And yeah, there's clearly no way to cross through here. Going down here is just straight up a bad idea in that case. I still think that like maybe using this area is ideal. So I can make a loop that goes around like this. But again, nothing can go this way. Ah, wait, no, but yeah. Yes, because this is part of the path, it has to go back this way to make it to like even enter this area. I was thinking I could make a loop that goes rectangularly like this, but then it wouldn't touch this sensor, and then there would be no point. So it must touch the sensor. I'm thinking it has to be vine here, plus like some shenanigans across the sides. But I don't see how that could work. Like, once again, it's just no way to like maneuver it into this column properly. Can pull it up here, pull it across. Something happens. Then it ends up back here. But I can't cross here. And it is true that this bean must come on and off, right? Yeah, I think that is for this alternator. I can start off with the bean in a completely different spot. There is no way I'm turning this bean into a different color though. So the bean can't start here, I guess, then. Unless I build a bridge here to walk in. I guess it's also fine. Then I could walk in here. But the starting position of the bean still wouldn't matter if I couldn't get a loop to occur. Does a loop have to occur? I mean, this thing has to come on and off like 4 times. I'm almost certain it's a loop. Otherwise, it must be a machine that can hold for 4 turns, which... Like... To be able to build a machine that can hold for 4 turns and no more is... I don't know if that's part like the design that could occur. Is it a mechanism that I don't yet like fully understand about how vines and icicles work? Is there a hidden interaction that I need to know? Like, is there any way for the bean to move in the top row, I guess, is what I'm asking. I really don't think there is. I think the puzzle would be a bit too easy if there was a way to move the bean up top. But then again, the puzzle would feel impossible otherwise. I can't duplicate. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can duplicate. No, I cannot. Oh, I can. Hold on. I can duplicate. You can actually bring purple beans from a dispenser up here across the sensor. And you can do that infinitely because that bean can then pass through a color changer that would destroy the presence of purple beans, allowing more to be dispensed. Oh, okay, new idea. I like that a lot, which means that we are not allowed to use one of these dispensers. That should be okay, because even with one of these guys, I can change it to any color I want. Everything else still works the same, and once I shoot this bean, you must, you know, emphatically? Is that how I use that word? You must produce another bean, no matter what happens to this previous bean. Like, I mean, I can just do this, and it would definitely just produce another bean already. So yes, I think that's how it should work. So, bucket up there, pulls up a purple bean, then bucket over here, sorry, bucket? No, vine, pulls purple bean across sensor, vine down here pulls bean down, vine over here pulls bean here, and then vine here pulls bean across, and then collects. Aha, okay, gotcha. And with this setup, I can produce as many green beans as I want by smashing them against the wall. So vine here and here are now sorted. Unfortunately, I can't use this setup because these 2 beans are set. So vine here and here are done. Vine here is easy to produce. Purple bean getting here is also easy because I also made a bridge here, which I can walk through. Okay, very good. The meaning I don't need to pass through this color changer to put this into a dispenser. Vine up here and vine here. That's the one that's a problem. How do I make a vine there? I need a bridge there. So, well, since I can produce a vine in this area, I can easily freeze a vine in this area and produce vines here. Okay, puzzle solved. Let's see how actually difficult it is. Let's start by, again, producing this bridge. So, okay, that's 1. Unfortunately, the bookmarks are now useless because I made a mistake. So I like how this puzzle works in that, like, the first step, which seems very innocent, the first step which is like, why would you not want to do this, ends up having a very good reason as to why you would not want to do that. Why wouldn't I want to have 2 dispensers? That gives me more beans. That's because one of the dispensers must be saved for another purpose. That purpose is just very, very unobvious from the start. Is that red herring? Is that what a red herring is? I don't think it is, right? Because a red herring... Well, no, it could be a red herring. I don't actually know what the definite... I actually don't know what the definitive definition... What? Of a red herring is. Okay, so... Here I can create icicle. Let's create icicle somewhere else. Okay. So we can make more bridges up there. I just need one here so I can put bunch of green beans. I need 2 more green beans up there. Actually, I need 4 more green beans up there. How many? I need 1 for the bridge, 1 for the vine here, 1 for the vine here, and 1 for the vine here. So 4 more. Okay. This dispenser doesn't rely on the presence or absence of green beans, so as many up there should be okay. Is there another issue? There might be. How do I create a bridge here to allow me to bring the purple bean down? Do I have to do that? No, maybe not, because there's an icicle here. Oh, well, yeah, if there's an icicle there, then the puzzle is also easily solved. That's how I built the bridge here in the first place. Duh. Okay. I don't know why I suddenly doubted myself on that. That was a really stupid thing to have asked. But that's okay. Clarifying whether a solution is feasible, I think, is much better than getting to that point and then suddenly realizing you've missed a step. Also, I am definitely yapping again, but I'm okay. I'm okay? I don't know. Am I scaring viewers? Maybe. Not my concern by this point, to be fully honest. Okay. So, icicle. Wrong side. Icicle must be here. We have 1 vine. Oh, okay. Do not change the color of the beans. It is very important that the green beans stay as green beans. And then we have 1 here and 1 here. Of course, I'll activate those once I get this bean out of the way. I don't want it to be stuck anywhere. Otherwise, I don't know how the dispensing is going to work out. It's probably not going to work out. Okay. I need to turn you here. Like this, like that. Okay. Okay, bridge can be formed easily. Bridge can be formed easily, part 2. And bridge can be formed easily, part 3. Okay. And with that, I can now take this purple bean, come down here, and turn on a purple bean dispenser. And by that point, these vines can now all be activated. Let's activate the top one first, then the bottom, and I can leave. Hold on, wait, before that, I need a vine N? I need a vine up there. Okay, before I do all of this, I don't know if... Well, no, it doesn't really matter. Actually, let's check. Let's do that. Put you over here. What is your range? Perfect. Look at that. Okay, so before I activate you, I clearly want to do a bunch of other stuff first. I definitely want a vine here to decolorize the purple. Let's activate all of these guys. And then we can start by activating you. Okay. And hopefully the timing is perfect for me to just activate you and leave. Yeah, that should solve the puzzle, right? So there is a... Oh, look at that. So we must now block your line of sight, yeah? Because you're gonna pull up. Okay. That is completely doable. Actually, is it? Yeah, it should be. Okay, before that though, I need one more green bean up there. Okay, I think there's gonna be kind of a little implication? There's gonna be a bit of a challenge going on here as to how to like react to all of this. Once I put a blocker here, this guy becomes very hard to shoot. Actually, that's not true, I can shoot you from here. Okay. Well, then we're perfectly fine, right? So I can activate you, You grab that first, that's bad. Okay, then let's not put you down. Let's put the block of ice there. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Then green bean, I can simply walk here and put you down like so. Sure. Yeah, you can stay there. You're not gonna harm anyone. Now I can come down, activate these guys. And with that blockage, I am okay to let this happen. Okay. So now we have a whole slew of oh, come on. Okay, I need another blockage here, huh? Alright, sure. Alright, so let's us produce another ice block. This is getting a bit old. And hopefully that isn't a problem. There's no way it's a problem, right? Because you pull down, then from here you pull across, then from here something's pulled down. The blockage here will prevent from pulling this way. I don't think there's anything else that can pull out of this line. So I think I'm fine. The blockage has to be here. Okay, let's get this guy out of the way. Okay, I don't need to color that. You go here. What? Why is the vine there? I need to swap your positions. So, icicle here. This guy over here. Okay, perfect. Sure. Jeez, okay. You here. You here. You here. Hopefully that should be the last of all the problems. Decolorize, regrab. And yes, a very, very long-winded process, but one that will allow me to walk through over and over again. Cool. So it took a... I think the main problem was to figure out how to get through this without actually having a loop occur. Because there's no way a loop is going to occur here. There's just no space. There must be a way to, you know, do this in another way. So it must have been this thing producing beans to be pulled across. The decolorization is very important. So I guess, you know, it is interesting that in this puzzle, the petals actually do something useful besides just, you know, blocking us from having beans in certain areas. They actually are very useful in decolorization. So that's very nice. I think I like that a lot. Yeah, and that solves the puzzle. Cool. Okay, very nice. That took us 30 minutes. Wow, okay. I do not dare to go in here. This looks like a big pain. I am going to, you know, find a separate episode or a separate 2 episodes or a separate like 5 episodes to work on this. I am anticipating a lot of trouble from this puzzle just because of how big it is and how scary it looks from the other side. So yeah, we're gonna do that next episode. I'm very happy that I've solved this so quickly though. This is very nice. Yeah, but I think I'm done for this episode. So until next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.